finding out that the Purple Party, which was Josh, Annie, and Courtney from the original Sandra, and then Austin and Aaron from the original George. I didn't have any issues with that because I thought, well, Courtney's locked in with Aaron. Courtney's been telling Aaron and I'll never put your name down, I'll never vote for you. And I felt like Austin and Aaron were pretty tight. Aaron went home, and dude, that flipped my shit. Like, that flipped my whole entire game upside down. Aaron was my number one. Aaron was my final two. All four of those people can fuck off at this point. Like, I don't care. Josh, Annie, don't even know you, don't care to know you if you had any part in that. And now when it comes to Austin and Courtney, I don't know. Like, I have a feeling that Austin had a part in that.
I'm happy that it was her, because at the end of the day, she was a person that I thought was a threat. Nice person, almost too nice, to where I was like, that is a great social gameplay. But very nice person, but I viewed her as a threat from day one. I mean, as soon as I saw like the gamer setup, the beautiful camera, the ring lighting, like, I mean, I was like, damn, girl plays games professionally. Threat. So I also didn't really have a problem throwing her under the bus and putting her name out there.
People keep saying I throw people's names out, and I'm a lot smarter than that. Like, I'm not gonna throw your name out for no reason. I keep my cards close to the chest. If I throw your name out, you're probably going home that night anyway. I'm not gonna throw it out to not be right. Yeah, Aaron going home feels like a direct attack on me, and that's not cool. So,
baby, I was nervous as shit because I did not want to get squab screwed, because the likelihood of that was so high with it being random and going from 2 parties of 8 now down to 4 parties of 4, where there's not really places to hide. But thankfully, somehow, not only did I get placed on a party with all the people from my previous party, I got put in with 3 people that I wanted to build an alliance with. Like, it doesn't get any much better than this. I could not be more thrilled about it.
I was very happy with who I got put with. I got put with Ryan, who I'm good with. I got put with Thomas, who I'm great with. And Thomas, side note, is a terrible... I was like, I kind of know him for something. Like, is he actually, like, secretly an actor? He's not. He is the worst actor. When anyone ever brings up the fucking compass, he's like, oh, I don't know. Like a robot.
I mean, each group has an opportunity to get one. So I honestly assumed that it was, that you guys had...
Asking a question, by the way, I'm not... not a question, more of a pointing of fact. Jess said that she completed it the night before. So if you completed it the morning after,
and
then someone from Team George...
And oh, good thought.
It's funny to watch, because he knows that I have it. Ugh.
My new party, the Red Party, has 3 original Georges, me, Jess, and Cara, and then 2 original Sandras, Joshy and Aleaha. Personality-wise, we just mesh well.
Immediately when you came into this tribe and like your energy, it was like, I fuck with this guy. You know what I mean?
I felt the same about you, and I think it was like the first day because we both, like, everyone was like, and I looked at you and me both were just like sitting there kind of like taking it all in at first, and I was like, this is somebody I can pick up with, definitely. And that's why I asked Courtney about you from the jump. I was like, what about Joshy? She was like, yeah, I like him and Josh. And I was like, you probably don't know who I'm talking about, but I like Joshy.
Courtney, I don't like. Courtney is a character, man.
I know, dude. That's what
I don't know, like, I would love to work with her, but like, I don't know. Like,
I would too. And like, I'm not kidding. Like, we had plans. Like, when we were coming, like Courtney, Aaron, and I all last night were talking, and we were saying, I was like, I can bring in Jess and Cara, and she was even saying like, I can bring in Joshy and Aleaha and Annie, and so she was like listing off these people who she said she could like bring in, and that's why like I'm very mind blown because I don't.
Courtney said that.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like she might have just been like giving me those sweet nothings in my ear at this point, because that doesn't make sense that Aaron would go home. Like, if she was literally like, I mean, dude, she was sending voice messages. I was like, are you crying on the phone? Like, what's going on? And that's why I'm like, I don't know. Like, I just got to figure out obviously what happened, like, moving forward before we like lock in with something with Courtney. But
yeah, I don't know either. I felt closest with Kristen, and then I was starting to build a quick connection with Josh on day 1. But then in the red camp, like, I didn't get a chance to talk that much to Bar or Aleaha before I came into the red camp with those 4.
Or yeah.
And then we were just in base camp, like just chatting up, like so.
Like if you and Aleaha have a chat after this too, and like if you want to reiterate it, like I don't want you and her to feel nervous about being in like that OG George 3 versus your OG Sandra 2. You know what I mean? Because like I said, like at this point, I don't think that's something that like I'm necessarily like locked into.
That's cool, man. I'm down for whatever too. Like I feel like generally you and I can speak, like can communicate well together. And
Right.
I feel like you're pretty smart, and like, you know, like I think that we could probably bounce ideas off of each other. I want to see how me and you can like start putting building blocks together. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah, and I think next time we talk, we should kind of figure out who we see fitting into our peripheral. You know what I mean?
We've all been talking a lot. Like, Jess keeps the conversation going, which I think she's amazing. She's somebody I really would like to work with.
Someone said, like, oh, this would be a great Final Five. This would be a great Final Five. Let's name it. And they named it something. They've changed their mind. Now we're called the Cranberries. I don't know. I don't feel particularly bonded to these people. I do Eli. Cara, I'm working on. I could do things with the other ones, but I just, you know, everyone's going to leave their options open, and I'm not going to be any different.
Oh, we're all in a group. It's called the Cranberries because we've had many conversations, and one of the conversations is about the Cranberries, like Dolores O'Riordan, Queen, R.I.P. to an OG. Eli, the way I feel about him, I'm not too sure. You can tell he's strategic. You can tell he knows how to play, and he's a good player. So I don't know, but Jess had said something Sunday night, and she's like, Eli, like, stop talking. I want to hear what everybody else has to say. But like, for me, I'm like, if Eli wants to just be this big leader of the group, okay, sure. He can be the leader of the group until he's not, you know.
We shall see what day 5 or 6, I don't even know at this point. I think what day 5 brings. So
looks like we're all here.
Crossroads a million times now.
Everybody's here. 14, that sounds right to me. Hello and welcome everyone to Expedition Online. It's season 6 of Uluru. Team George versus Team Sandra. King versus Queen. We have 14 explorers remaining going into today, day 5. All right, I hope you guys have been taking the time to get to know on each other, as we've got another twist coming in today. No twist, you guys are going to stay where you are. So, the way things have been going, that's a twist, right? So we're going to keep you guys in the parties that you are already in. And, one second, a little disorganized at the moment. Let me get my wits here. Did you guys notice that I've got the whole merch store going here? You guys can order your stuff. Check it out. We've got all kinds of t-shirts going and stuff. And don't worry about those. Those don't matter. But, yeah. Anyways, for today's challenge, we're going to turn things over to challenge coordinator Jess.
Greetings, explorers. Welcome to Down Under Trivia. All of tonight's answers will have to do with Australia, or they will contain the word under in the answer. It is not about speed, it is about accuracy. Of course, there will be a limit to how long you get to answer the question. And whenever you are ready and you have your answer, you'll just give a thumbs up, hold your board up, and reveal your answer whenever you are told to do so. If you get the answer correct, you will earn a point for your party. If not, too bad, so sad. The first 2 parties to earn 5 points win exemption. Good luck, have fun.
All right. Also for today's challenge, we're going to be bringing in a guest host for you. You guys know who she is. Some of you guys are representing her this season. Let's bring over the queen herself, Sandra. There she is.
Hello, everyone. I'm so happy you guys all made it past the first week. Pat yourselves on the back for being so darn awesome. But the game's not over yet, and it's only gonna get harder. Are you guys ready to play? The word defined as slang, mainly Australian, verb to vomit on dictionary.com. To vomit on dictionary.com. All right, guys, reveal your answers. Even I don't know that.
Oh, Chanda. Oh.
I've never heard that word, and I was there. All right, question 3. Aside from our queen Sandra, what other former U.S. survivor played also in Australian Survivor?
Everyone's got their answer?
All right, guys, reveal your answers.
Thomas and Cara both got it right. Courtney, unfortunately, is not Suri. That's the only reality show Suri hasn't played.
Damn it.
Question number 4. What is the word defined as to make a mistake as through stupidity or carelessness in the Merriam-Webster's dictionary? All right, guys, review your answers.
Blunder, blunder, and blunder. Blunder is the answer. Aleaha, that is incredibly close, but unfortunately, you're not going to get a point here.
These questions are hard. All right, question number 5. What is the name of the currency used in Australia? Reveal your answers, please. I love Sandra.
Jess, are we accepting Australian dollars or is it just dollars?
Thank you. Look, and I was thinking hard. I was like, damn, what kind of money did I use over there? But I didn't. It was the survivor's money.
Yes, we are. Okay, everybody gets a point on that one. 2 points right now for the red team. 2 points for purple. And blue is in the lead with 3 points.
All right, question number 6. What was the theme of the Australian Survivor season on which King George first competed? That is so easy. All right, reveal your answers. Hey, I see a lot of good answers.
Excellent. Point for everyone.
Question number 7. What marsupial is found on the coat of arms of Australia? All right, reveal your answers.
All right, and with that, the blue party has one exemption for the evening. They have won by a score of 5-4 to 3. All right, blue team, so you guys can leave your videos off. Challenge does need to keep going as we are going to have 2 parties safe at exemption this evening. Red party is up 4 to 3. Take it back over, Sandra.
Question 8. What is the official language of Australia?
Yeah, go ahead and reveal. Courtney, what's your answer? All right, you both got it right, but that's not going to matter as the red party has one exemption as well, meaning that we will be seeing the purple party this evening at the Crossroads. I want to send a special thank you out to Queen Sandra for hosting the challenge for us. I will see you all
Good luck,
later.
Purple Tribe. Thank you. Good luck, you guys. I love you guys too. I'm rooting for everyone.
Especially your team, though, right?
Yeah, especially anybody that I pick. I handpicked my crew.
So you got 55 minutes. Mull it over. Figure out who it's gonna be.
In the Crossroads. I hope you survive.
Damn it. Oh.
It's all right. We tried.
I'll show you. Okay, I'm gonna like let myself question time, but like, okay.
It's okay. We tried. I mean, that was.
I'm sorry for getting that wrong, but I got the next one right. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry for the one question that I got wrong. And I got the last one right, and then we could have won if the other person got it wrong. So I'm just like,
Yeah.
Damn it. I'm mad at myself for getting Suri wrong. Like, I really, really wanted it.
It's all right. I would have gotten that wrong too.
The only reason why I know it was Russell is because on TikTok everybody was clowning him for like doing trash on Australian Survivor as well. Like he was like, "I'm gonna win," and then he like got voted out second.
Yeah, I heard about that one too. I
want one day of like not having to like vote somebody out. I just want somebody like I want to like help people's charities and I want to advocate for everybody, all of us. But like that's my pitch. It's just like as long as it's not me, I don't care.
I mean, same. I second that.
Should we split up one-on-one time it with each other since we're only 4 now?
Probably.
I suppose.
Yeah, so I guess who wants to go by the fire?
I'll go first. I mean, I'm the only original purple, so like I'm happy to pitch and I promise not to hog the chat.
So
who should go first with him? Wait, are we gonna can we just like establish
that we're voting out Austin?
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah.
It's
Look,
the easiest thing to do, right? I can't even right now. I want to eat my pizza. Like I'm just like
I'll go with him to keep him occupied, but
I actually really do want to work with Josh, and I feel like he told me he's a straight shooter, and that is somebody I want to work for.
I'm so fucking annoyed I got that kangaroo question wrong. I could have sworn I saw I've seen like an Australian thing that has a koala on it.
I would have gotten it wrong too. I was also thinking koala, but it's okay. I mean, at the end of the day, that I suck at trivia.
And I think that like if we just chose in a different order, we'd be different because I knew Russell Hands.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I knew that one.
Damn, that's pretty serious.
So me and Courtney had switched. We see we got the second one wrong, but we would at least been. And she probably got the kangaroo question right, so we actually could have. I hate this.
Yeah, I have. I don't know. Like, I definitely would love to keep working with you. I don't know, like, if you like, what are your thoughts, basically? Because I know I'm on the outs, but also like last time we kind of like were able to work together to get Aaron out.
Right.
So I'm happy to keep working with you if you'd like.
So that's just the text.
What was the clue? Do you know the clue? Like, that's just driving me crazy.
No, I legit don't know. Barely paying attention to anything. So like, I was just like here, like trying to focus on let's fucking do the challenge. So I need to get back over to the club to help Ozza do this the finale party.
Yeah, you literally were like full on working.
Yeah, then when you mentioned I went and looked at his bio and it's like nothing here makes any fucking sense. I'm not even gonna waste my energy on this.
Yeah.
What do you think, Courtney?
Annie, this is me and you time. In all my confessionals, I say it's me and Annie because Annie has brains such as Brawn. I'm sorry that I'm playing so much from my heart. You're playing from your brain and I'm playing from my heart. I think it's good. I think it's good that the both of us. I will never ever write your name down. I didn't write Aaron's name down either. We have to vote out one of them, right?
Yeah.
One of them has the.
We can talk to Austin about that. I'm down with whatever.
Yeah.
Well, look, at the end of the day, I didn't put your name on that vote, so I'm happy to go with whoever you want. I'm happy to be a number. What are you thinking? Do you think like I'm a bigger threat than the other two, or do you think that we can get the person out who like put your name down, or?
Well, I'm pretty sure that Aaron put my name down just for last round, just for the sake of that.
If you're willing to kind of change up the game, like I said, I think we can definitely like shake it up a little bit. And
who would you suggest?
I just feel like Courtney gives me a lot and Annie's a little withholding. So if I was gonna to my head had to pick between the two of them, I would get rid of Annie, only just because she plays very close to her, like her cards are close to her chest. And Courtney will let you know what she's thinking. So I get that you guys are in this tough spot. And also, I totally understand that if I'm there, then Team Sandra knows you flipped. So that's tough too.
Right. I just don't like I don't like.
Well, we could, I mean, if you do want, and we got rid of Annie, we tell Courtney, hey, he just played a compass. So that way we can just kind of fabricate our own story, have this secret alliance. There we go. There's a good benefit for you too. Have a secret alliance. I could tell my team like, oh man, they were ready to get rid of me, so I had to play my compass. But really, we're still working in cahoots because I want to get rid of Team George. Like, I want to get those people gone.
I don't know. There's just so many avenues for things to go wrong and blow up in my face. And like you are a person I said I wanted to work with, but it's not like in this position. I don't know if like the risk is worth the reward.
I'm sad that we lost again.
Yeah.
Because I know we're brains and brawn. We are smart. We are smart. Do you have it?
I do not. No. Whenever Jonathan's talking, I'm always zoning out, so I like didn't even have a chance. I mean, I have a feeling I don't think that Josh would have it because he's always preoccupied. So I don't know if he's like gonna be listening for the like clues that Jonathan puts out.
I found a clue to the location of an advantage, which I can only assume is the re-hidden compass that Rocky played. And you know, at first I started looking on my own, and I was like, an hour into it, I was like, I'm not getting it. So like 20 minutes before, you know, everything finished, I was like, you know what, let me build some trust with these guys. And I was like, oh my gosh, guys, wait, look at, you know, Shane's profile, there is a clue. I'm so stupid for not seeing it. Like, we started to like look for it together, but you know, no one really like came to a solid like resolution with it.
I know they made challenge the finding of things harder this season because the guy last year got like 7 or 8. That was like 7 or 8 ones in a row.
I have a step up on the group that just panicked for the last 20 minutes since I saw the cups in Jonathan's background. Just have no idea. I've guessed everything. Do they represent like the shape of them? Is the shape of the location? Is it like 5 letters, then an apostrophe, and then 3 letters? Did I miss a cup? Did I miss a detail? I don't know. But I'm glad that I caught that with my eyes. I will be up late again tonight, spamming Shane's computer, hunting for a compass. I've just started going down most famous landmarks in the world articles, and I don't think that's going to cut it.
Team George was to one crossroad together. Team Sandra was to one crossroad together. They've only had like 1 hour to talk. It makes sense that Team George would band together. Like, I don't want to hold it against anyone, but I just hope that this is not going to be like her.
It'd be stupid to limit our games just to the 8 strangers we met on night 1.
Totally. And I was gonna say Annie was in our group with Ryan, and I was very happy to see Bar and Rocky, you two, in our group because she had specifically mentioned your name as like she wants to work with you. We want to work with her because we don't want to again set up this precedent of like it's Sandra versus George. So
My dogs are running around. We're playing for the animals, girl.
Heck yeah.
We're playing for the animals. I'm even like willing, like now that it's me and you alone right now, I'm willing to like bring Rocky in. You promise me on your fucking life.
I promise, yeah.
It's not me. And it's not you.
It's not you. It's definitely not you.
For the animals. For the
Yep.
Mississippians. I wanted
We're in this together.
I'm sorry for I know that like, we're gonna be best friends after this, but like I'm writing it down. My usual thing. Can we do like a thing from last season? If I like turn my hat backwards, if I feel anything is gonna be against you, I will do that.
So I just like laid down my life for him, but he was like, I don't know. So I don't know if any of you guys want to go talk to him. He was saying maybe like Annie, Courtney, or Annie, whoever wants to go first. Okay, so I feel like if we can go against like, are you wanting to go against Annie or Josh? I think we can keep Josh because he was like, if you can get Courtney to go against Annie, I'll vote with you.
We'd
And
have to shock her.
what I was thinking and what I told him, which I think like resonated with him, is if we get rid of Annie to cover your asses, we could just say that I played a compass, knowing that it was going to be me. I played it very close to my chest. I played a compass, and I can go back to my team saying like they were ready to get rid of me. I played a compass. Boom.
Do I have to write her name down though?
I mean, it's look at the end of the day, like I want to keep you. You're my number one in this, so like I know I want to work with you.
Well, I know. But like,
The only reason why I pitched to Annie, and like, look, if you and Annie talk and you want to switch it up, whatever. Like, as long whatever keeps me here.
Josh, but we like.
But the only reason why I think Annie,
No, Annie was like no to Austin, no to me. So
okay,
and then she was
okay,
not. So like
okay.
I'm
If
sad.
you want to do Josh, then I'm also down to do Josh. Like, look, I don't want to make a move that makes you feel uncomfortable.
Did he tell you? Because I don't want to write down his name, but I'm willing to if I have to. But I want to not write her name down.
If you don't want to write her name down, we do Josh. I'm fine with that.
I do Josh, but I don't have a compass. If
Me
you have-
either.
you
I do
don't have-
not either. I've been literally guessing to Shane as we've all been talking. Look, we could do a 2-1 split. You and I vote.
But what if
you,
someone has a compass? I feel like two of us have to do something. Otherwise, it's one of us. I just want like a day that I don't have to continue to do that. Like the
I know, but think of it this way though. It's all of this struggle is only going to make a team stronger. Like all the other teams.
Exactly. Building rapport.
Yeah. Do you want me to hop in the other chat, Josh?
Yeah, I'll talk to Courtney. Hey, Courtney. What's up? What's going on?
Do we vote Austin or do we vote Amy?
So he pitched to you to do Annie?
Yeah.
Tell me what you think, because
I think Amy might have an idol. So do we throw one vote onto her? I don't want to be the one to do it though. I don't want to be the one to do it because I'm emotional. I'm emotional time. Whatever name you say, I'll do it.
Well, here's the thing.
We have to do 2 versus 1, right?
Right, because no matter what, me and you are solid.
Exactly. Look, we're LA. We're LA as fuck. So like.
Right. So that's why when he started pitching me to do Annie, I said, I'm not gonna say I'm considering anything, but you go talk to Courtney and see what she says. Because it sounds like
He's
Austin.
pitching me Annie. He's pitching me Annie, and then Annie's pitching you. So I don't know. Like,
What Annie was pitching me?
No, Annie's pitching both of them, but she was like either. I don't know. She's quiet. Every time I say a name, she just goes like yes. So like I have no idea what I can't read her. Can you read her? Can you read her at all?
I can read her like reading a book in the dark.
Compass.
That's why he told me that he trusts you because you're an open book, and that's the same reason he says he trusts me because I'm pretty straightforward.
Right? So we have to vote the one that we can't read.
So you think you want to do Annie? Because you laid out the reasons of why we would, go after Annie, because Austin was someone on from first jump. He's to be honest, I don't see that many people from the OG Team George I saw myself wanting to work with, but Austin was one of them. He said he wants to go after OG George because he feels slighted by the way that they didn't let him go to the summit.
Eli fucked him over.
Right. We still good, Annie?
Yeah.
Who'd he try to pitch to you?
You. That is what he tried to pitch.
And he was pitching you to me.
He's grabbing at straws.
Of course, the one name he's not saying is Courtney because I feel like he trusts Courtney the most and feel like I guess she's the one she's the one most likely he could get.
Mm-hmm.
at this point, since he's telling both of us he's telling us that he's pitching each other.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really trust that. I don't want to take a chance on like, oh, he's definitely telling me the truth, or like,
yeah, and then like, yeah,
they're being blindsided. So I'd rather just like, it's not worth it.
And he's probably pitching one of us to Courtney right now.
Right. And who knows who he's actually pitching. So it's gonna be easy. Austin can go back and cuddle with his man to soften the blow of being it's a done deal for me. I'm just making sure that he doesn't like try to rope Courtney in and try to force like a 2-2 tie.
All I've been doing is messaging Shane, trying to find that compass.
If you saw how many like voice notes I said, is it Australia? Is it Australia? Is it this? Is it that? Is it this? Is it that? It could have been right here, and Josh got it.
That's so true. I think if either one of them have a compass, they will not want to use it. They will not want to use it until rendezvous. It would be silly to use it now because you would want to use it when you know for certain that you're going. And I don't think they know for certain.
You're right.
Yeah. Can I tell you something? And this isn't I've only told one other person because I trusted them. And it's not really an advantage, but it kind of is in a sense. I've played Expedition Online before. Like it was like a mini, and I went home after a tribe swap. So I was swap screwed. You know, I literally went home like I think third or fourth. So I never made it to rendezvous. So it's not like I'm like, oh my God, this expert player.
But I've literally never played. It's just been my dream to be on Survivor. How
Yeah,
do
no,
you use computers? How do you do things? Like
Yeah, I had to learn how to play when I first did this, but that was like 2 years ago, honestly. So one thing I wanted to tell you because I wholeheartedly trust you, and obviously you can use this against me if you'd like.
my heart and my soul is you and I promise
Thank
you.
you. But
I promise
also, thank you. In return, if you happen to hear anybody else tell or like say that or have an inkling, would you mind telling me?
Eli's the only human that's told me your name.
Okay, perfect. So we need to keep this rolling because last time I played, everybody was like, well, you just want to build your resume. You just want to build your resume. And at the time I was like, I have no idea what the fuck they mean because I was literally just fighting for my life. I was like, I'm at the bottom of a 5-person alliance, but moving forward, we can build that resume together. And then if we can make it to the final 2, it's just a matter of like personal connections.
I'm fine being 2 actually because I don't need the money. I want the attention for Star Rescue. I love everything about life. My final bucket list was to get on actual Survivor. This is my practice round, I guess. So like
You got this. Audition, throw them out.
I'm building a resume for Survivor, actually.
There you go.
This.
I think you have a perfect personality for television. Yeah.
I'm fine with you though. I'm like, if you want to be 1, I'll be 2. I do not care.
I'm same with you. Super happy to keep building this relationship with Courtney. I love her gameplay. Like it's kind of hard to strategize with her because I feel like if you're in a room with Courtney, you're a listener more than a talker. But I love that because 1, it takes the spotlight off of me and that she's open about what she thinks and she wears her heart on her sleeve.
I feel like I just spent a lifetime talking to everybody. Has it been an hour? I feel like, you know, whenever like if we ever go on Real Survivor, is this what it feels like when we're like just chilling?
Probably.
Sitting down, like drinking water, smoking your vape. Like I don't even get to smoke my vape.
Hey, Courtney.
Yes.
Can I talk to you about the 5 before we go to travel?
Of course.
Are we doing Annie?
We have to, right?
Look, I just want to make sure that whatever we do, we're on the same page.
We have to do it, right?
Like, if I get weird vibes, I'll, like, start coughing or something. I'll pretend like I got something wrong.
And I'll cough if I get weird vibes.
Neither of them said your name. You're good.
Because they're both basically pitching to each other, right?
Right. Because I was talking to Annie while y'all were away. Annie told me that he was pitching me, and I told him that he was pitching her.
I feel like you. I just spent a lifetime talking to everybody. Has it been an hour? Has it been? I feel like, you know, whenever like if we ever go on Real Survivor, we have to, right?
welcome everyone to the Day 5 Crossroads. We have the Purple Party here once again, where they are going to have to desert another party member. Courtney, you've been here quite a bit. It's not getting any easier, is it?
I've been in so many crossroads. Ugh. It just sucks every time that you have to leave a human. Like, it sucks every single time. And I keep saying, I just want one day where I don't have to feel like I have to lose a human. Because crossroads suck.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh.
Austin, Courtney brings up a good point there, because the other parties right now, they're just kind of, they've got free time. They don't have to strategize about Crossroads, so they're maybe getting to know each other a little bit better. Austin, you've been to a lot of Crossroads as well. Has that been a consideration?
Nothing lets you know somebody more than making it through Crossroads in a unanimous front. I feel like it does stink to have to go home and lose, or I'm sorry, to go here and lose and come back to Crossroads. But I also feel like we're able to build like stronger connections and know that we're on the same level of thinking rather than the other team. They might have connections, but they don't really know if they're solid connections yet until you vote together. So I feel like, yes, it does suck to go to Crossroads every single game, but at the end, I feel like you leave there knowing who you can trust and who you can't, and who's willing to play the game and who isn't. So it's a plus and a negative.
Now, we came into the game, Team Sandra and Team George. I mean, we're a little far removed from that now, but being the only team, original Team George here, Austin, is that coming up still, or you guys have already been to a Crossroads at this point? Do you feel like you've got your group?
No, 100%. It's literally been on my mind, because if I stay, then it's a clear indicator to Team Sandra that they sided with me. So that was like my worry moving forward. If I stay, then Team Sandra knows that they have people that flipped. So that was a big concern for me moving forward. I also would like to say that just because I started off on Team George doesn't mean that I don't want to also take people on Team George down too.
Mm-hmm.
So, I could be a covert number for people moving forward. We can make up a little story here, because if I stay, who's to say that I didn't play a compass tonight? Only the people that survived would be able to tell that tale. So it is a concern, but moving forward, it's not an end all be all.
Josh, Austin does bring up a good point. I mean, Team Sandra now has had a lot of time to commingle with former Team George members. Are you still on that mindset, or is it just I've already got my group, maybe Austin's on the outside, or is it a whole new thinking now?
Yeah, it's tough, because when you see someone who's out there on the outside, it's like, damn, if it was me, I'd at least want to give him a chance. So I've given him a chance. I've heard him out and, see if he says anything that makes any plausible sense for my game. But you do have to think about it. We're soon going to be coming up on the rendezvous at some point, and it is a numbers game. So far, I would feel like every crossroad has come down to Team Sandra versus Team George, and whatever decision you make is going to make a statement for what happens in the next round at some point when we all come back together.
If I could piggyback off of that, though,
yeah,
I would say eventually it is going to have to be like you'd flip on your own team sooner or later. So I feel like if you do it now, when there's little to no repercussion, nobody could know about it. Like, you have an advantage to kind of already have plays moving forward, because also just think there have been a lot of people from original Team Sandra in a large group together. Are you still close with them after being here for 2 games? And then also too, like, I just think it would be better to make that move first than be the person who gets the move made on them.
Annie, we haven't heard from you yet. I mean, Austin's throwing out a decent game plan from the sounds of things. How did your strategy time go? And obviously you spent some time with Austin. What are your thoughts on what he's saying here?
I mean, I feel like the vote is pretty straightforward. Like, he's the only Team George, and that's That's sadly how it's got to be. I mean, we don't want to give any bad signals to the other Sandras, so that's how it was. The strategy time was pretty straightforward.
So are you saying that Team Sandra has kind of come together and had this conversation, or is this just like more of an unspoken thing? We've got the numbers. Old school Survivor at least is once you've got the numbers, you bring that to Rendezvous and you figure it out there.
Well, we didn't really have any chance to do like a 3-person thing. So it's been kind of an unspoken, but it's been the consensus that it's going to be Sandra together.
Right. And how about with the other Team Sandras? I meant back when you guys were your original group. Was this a spoken, we're all going to stick together, or is this just kind of an assumed thing that you guys are banking on?
Well, whenever we first won the first challenge, we were just like we're together. So it's kind of both. Like we spoke to each other about it, but it's kind of been in like an unspoken consensus that we're together against George because we want to win for Sandra. You know.
Okay. All right. I'm just going to open up the floor one last time before we get to this vote. It's been a pretty quick and explosive Crossroads so far. Austin's given us his piece for sure. Courtney, you want to speak?
I just want to say, sad sometimes, and whenever we go to Crossroads, I get sad. I love everybody, and I get emotional at Crossroads. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, this is what I love about players like Courtney is like they make you realize like, oh, there is like an emotional connection aspect to this game. Like you could try to come in here and play a very stone cold hearted, but then you meet somebody like Courtney or other people like maybe who I haven't gotten to meet yet, and they're like genuinely good people. And I'm like, oh man, this is tough. This is a lot harder because now you actually do go and build relationships. I mean, we're playing 3 hours a night, multiple days in a row with people. So yeah, it's like no matter if you go in here with this mindset, oh, I'm on a villain team, I'm going to be a villain, you end up like finding your soft, gooey center with all these people like Courtney or like Jess on my other team. You know, they're just like really nice people. And I'm like, oh, this is hard.
Yeah, it's so true.
Yeah, it's like when you want to be Johnny Fairplay and then you end up being Rupert, like, who has a heart love size is too big and like just wants everybody to win all the time. But then you're on Team Sandra, and like, oh god damn it, and then you're like, oh, god.
No, it's a complicated game, and there are many different strategies. All of them hold their merit, and and it means a lot of different things to a lot of different people, like Austin's alluding to there. So, with that said, let's just want to leave it all out there. So, one last second, if anyone has any last minute pitch or any last minute words that they'd like to say before we get to this vote, now would be the perfect time to chime in.
I just feel like I could be a great number moving forward. And like I said, I am down to flip like a pancake on Team Original George. There's people out there that have already said my name. So I'm happy to be a number for Team Sandra moving forward, which I feel like if we go back to Rendezvous, you coming in with somebody that can flip on the other team, like is a good asset to have or to bring to the larger group of Team Sandra. Because although you guys are trying to stay with Team Original Sandra, you're also a small group compared to a much larger group that's been together for a lot longer. So, just throwing that out there.
Okay. Anyone want to respond or have any last minute pitch of their own? All right. If you have an advantage that can be played before the votes, now would be the time to do so. Okay, as usual, we will vote in alphabetical order. So I will take Annie first into the voting booth. All right, the votes are in. If you have an advantage that can be played after the votes, now is the time to do so. All right, I will get to the votes. There were 4 votes this evening. Our first vote is for Annie. Our second vote is for Josh. The next 2 votes are for the same player. The player who will be deserted tonight at the Crossroads is Josh. Josh, unfortunately, you have been deserted here by a vote of 3-1. Do you have any last words for your fellow explorers?
Yeah, Courtney, you did me dirty, girl. I was not coming for you. You had my trust 100%, but I'm not worried about it because Josh Justice always strikes. So, good luck.
Can I say I'm sorry?
No, that was Josh's last words.
Like I said in Crossroads, I'd rather know where I stand with people and move forward than be friends with a whole bunch of people that I don't know how they're going to vote when it comes down to it. So yes, we've had to vote some people away, and I would have loved to work with Josh, but he was kind of giving me a cold shoulder. I didn't know what he felt like, and at the very end, he wanted to talk with Courtney and not me, so I just felt like he was a safe vote. Annie was very willing to vote for him, so I just had to trust her.
That is the 3rd Crossroads I've gone to, and that is the 3rd vote, the 3rd straight vote that I have received. Luckily, though, I think that every single person that has voted for me, once again, has been voted out. What am I feeling? I am in a solid alliance with Courtney. I'm her number 1. Right now, she is my number 1 as well, because she's just so reliable. But today, for me, it was kind of straightforward. I don't think there was ever a time in my head that I was going to vote for Austin. But yeah, I was 100% going for Josh the entire time. He voted for me, so it's not like I was going for him for no reason. We had some speculations that tomorrow's the rendezvous. Honestly, I hope it is, because I'm tired of losing. And if we lose tomorrow, I mean, it's obvious that Austin would go home.
I'm voting for Josh. I'm a liar.
My vote tonight is for Josh. If you're not with me, you're against me. I tried to throw you a lifeline first, and you didn't bite, so sorry, buddy. Hopefully it works, and it's not me tonight.
I hate it. I hate it. Yeah. You fucked up on Koala. No. Hey. Goodbye.
Sorry, girl, but yeah, at this point, Austin made himself more of a commodity.
If you haven't already, be sure to like and subscribe, and click on the bell to receive notifications so you don't miss any upcoming episodes or bonus content.
You're looking suave with the turtleneck, my dude.
Thanks, man. That was the goal. Looking white and angelic, you know.
You look like a stunner. Oh my god.
But dude, look at Joseph. Joseph's fancy today.
And Joshy, oh.
Thank you. I've been wine tasting all afternoon. I apologize in advance.
Courtney, I have a question. How did your game change? I'm gonna say for the better. I'm sorry. I'm gonna stop there. This meme needs to die.
I was waiting to see if I was going to let her answer. All right.